What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here back on Blazing Source. This is, of course, Road to Part 1, Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. You know what I'm saying? Episode 5. Yes, sir.
Good one.
Yes. Oh,
A
it
good
is.
one.
Some might say the best. I might say that too. Who knows?
I would agree.
Who
I
knows?
agree.
Who knows, man? Everyone wants to know. The weekly podcast dedicated to any and all things The Last of Us Part 1 remake, from news, lore, reactions, and upon release. For this time, our thorough investigation of what The Last of Us Part 1 was, and of course, our review of the game itself. With me, of course, is the golden hair, golden boy, Peter Szpytek. How you doing, good sir? What's good?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing good. I'm wearing my new favorite shirt. It's a little blue and yellow MTV
It's
shirt.
a very good shirt.
Bro, man, I love it.
Can I brag about my outfit for 1 second?
Please proceed. Yes, sir.
So I'm wearing this on purpose. So this just came in for me.
What is
I don't
that?
know if you could see this. What is this?
What is that? What is that?
Are we on the Last of Us podcast?
Oh, that's the whoop. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Okay. So it's for our audio listeners. So this is the WLF bomber jacket. Like this came in today. I ordered this September 2021, dude.
Huh?
Like so.
It's been
from
like
the
almost a
PlayStation
year.
Store. Yeah. It has been like straight
Bro.
up 11 months. So like for Last of Us Day last year, they came out with these like they had a bunch of stuff. Like some of it was like, in my opinion, like nothing. Like they had like flannels with like the Last of Us logo on it, like in like the very like corner of it for like $150. It was ridiculous. But they were selling these jackets, the WLF bomber jackets, and I'm like, yo,
Bro.
like that's actually kind of tight. And it's not like super like, it's not apparent. Like I'm into
Yes.
merch that's like kind of like discreet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That
Yes.
isn't like logo, but just kind of like, if you know, you know.
Yes.
So I was like, well, I got to pick that up. So I picked it up and it was like, it'll be here in January. I was like, that's not bad. 3-month wait. That's not terrible. And then like every single month I get an email like, hey, your order's been delayed. Like, all good. And it just showed up literally today, completely randomly.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what that? I'm like looking at the package. I'm like, what did I order? I'm like, opening it up. I'm like, hey, come on.
Bro. Two things.
Yeah, man.
Two things. One,
Yeah.
I also love and like I want to design like my next apartment like that, right? And like have a wardrobe that reflects like my love of gaming, but I need it to be like, if you know it, you understand it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I hate when it's like I'm
Just
literally
logo,
took
like-
you took the words out of my mouth. Like that's exactly like what I hate, where it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, logo and that's it, right? Second thing, man, I thought, I was, gonna show off my favorite shirt I got for EDC.
Dude, it's a good
you know what
look. I'm not
saying?
trying to-
But
I'm not
you
trying to,
don't-
like,
bro,
step on you,
bro.
I figured like we're doing a Last of Us podcast. I gotta wear this. I was like, it couldn't have come at a better, like literally
It's so
a better
perfect.
time.
It's so perfect.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I am gonna take it off because it's a little toasty
Yes,
in
sir.
here. But
Yes,
I
sir.
figured I would wear it in the intro here.
While you do that, of course, make sure to check out Peter Szpytek's links down below, his Twitter, his Hitbox podcast, you know what I'm saying, his portfolio. He's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that great stuff down below. And while after you check out Peter Szpytek, you can, of course, check out the show here on youtube.com/PlayStationSource, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc., via the anchor link down below in the description. Like the video and rate the podcast. It really does help us get even more viewers so we can grow the PSS family. Down below as well, let us know what you like or dislike about the show, and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description. Feeling generous, hit that join button. You can become a $1 member just like the homie Tabiwa Musa, or a $5 member just like Caleb Kaiser, the Iraq Knight, and the homie Owen as well. And yeah, that's about it for housekeeping here. But let's roll into, of course, what we've been playing. I feel like mine will be
Roll.
quick.
I like what you said. Roll. You're gonna roll into it.
I'm gonna,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Speaking of,
Yeah, I saw what you
okay,
did.
bet. Let me just roll right into it, right? Because because this one, because I can't. This one, we're gonna finish up quickly. So last week we both talked about Rollerdrome, right?
Yeah.
I did beat the game, right? Last night,
Yep.
and overall, I'm still high on it. I still think it was definitely worth my $20 on PS Plus. But after the 29th, which is definitely incoming, which might be the last day when this post maybe for the 29th, but you can still get it if you are a PS Plus subscriber for $20. After
And then it comes up, doesn't it?
it goes up to $30. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah. Whether you're PS Plus or not. And it's on PC as well for I think that this kind of price as well. I think, not sure, but I still, like even at $30, I still think that it would definitely be worth it overall. I feel, I'd say look into it. If it's for you, it's for you. Definitely. This was something that I really was in for like the bullet time shooting and all that. And I really like enjoy that whenever those are in games, but was new to the skating aspect of Roller Drome. I definitely did enjoy it. You can get more thoughts on that last week as well. And maybe I'll do a review on Roller Drome. Perhaps we'll see. But I still definitely enjoyed it. I thought the last level was definitely pretty good. What's weird is that I don't think that the levels from a progressing standpoint are balanced, right? I think they throw like hard ones at you. Like we talked about, the second mission just is out of nowhere, just difficult as shit, right? Like I found the last final level to not be that bad. I mean, maybe that's a reflection of your skill, right? Maybe that's a reflection of like all I've learned as I was playing through it. But just from a pure, just like, design standpoint and what you have to do in that final, I didn't feel like it was that bad. I only died and like had to restart one time. Then I beat it on my second try, right?
Sure.
So, but I still definitely enjoyed the game, but definitely as it went on, what I thought would probably happen came to fruition, where your comments about how there's a lot to juggle in this game, definitely I started to think about more and definitely see more for sure. But overall, I still definitely recommend it. Definitely liked it. I would consider a pretty good game for PS5 in 2022 for sure. But yeah,
I totally agree. I mean, it was one of those things where I just think it's not for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's a bad game or anything like that. It's just like, for me personally, it's just not my thing. I finished it as well, but did you end up like, they gate off the different like tiers of the tournament by how many challenges you complete?
Yep.
And so I got to one of them, and then I was like completely stuck behind it because it was like, hey, do one more challenge. I was like, fine. And then I got to the final like level, and I was like, you need to complete 20 more challenges. And I was like, hey, Roller Drome, 20? You want me to do 20 more challenges? Luckily, though, it's got a really great accessibility menu. It's called the assist menu, where you can just turn that off. You can just like completely bypass those challenges if you just want to see the end. It's got some great stuff, too, about like you can slow the gameplay down like by percentage points and stuff, which I thought was really helpful, especially for someone like me who like, I do think it's a lot to juggle, and I was getting a little overwhelmed by it. So like if I really wanted to put the time into like really getting it and really learning it and stuff, I probably could have messed around with that sort of stuff. But yeah, I finished it, and I walked away being like, this is a cool game, just not really for me.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And my other game I'm playing and going to try to beat in a week, which I think could be possible, but I'm a little scared. Mass Effect 3. Haven't touched it in a week. Just wanted to focus on Roller Drome, and I had the lady over, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
The long distance thing, you can't be playing these games, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. But I'm gonna try and get through Mass Effect 3 just to have that done in time for Last of Us Part 1, because I don't want to be juggling those two, That's the goal.
You probably do it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm maybe 6-7 hours in already, so I'm like,
if you devote to it, like I think you could get it done.
Here's what I want to ask you, right? I don't rule out the prospect of me going and doing some side things that really entice me, right?
Okay.
But overall, are there any side things that you feel are as required as the loyalty missions in Mass Effect 2?
Well, I mean, like you sort of like started to touch on those, how like your crew all sort of have their own individual like little loyalty missions. It's one of those things where like without wishing to spoil anything, because I think like it happens like right at the beginning. Like you have access to the final mission, right? At this point,
I don't think so. Wait, what?
So like so Mass Effect 3's whole thing is like, hey, Shepard, you got to leave Earth, and you got to come back with a crew to completely wreck the Reapers, right? And so there's like in your war room, there's like a galaxy readiness.
Oh yes,
indicator.
There is that bar. It's not full yet. It's not full yet. But I am working towards that. So like bar.
That's the sort of thing where like I think you can start the final mission at any time, but like if you start it without having like the galaxy ready, like you're gonna take some hits. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
gonna decimate it. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I think like that's how I would gauge it, where like do the side missions that you feel like you really want to do. And then when you're sort of feeling like maybe I'm getting ready to be done with it, take a look at that readiness rating and like sort of make that call of like, you know what, 80%, I'm willing to let that,
Okay.
get into it with that. But
Okay. Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah. It does. Yeah, because I remember like on the bar, like to fill it, like there is a white line that seems to be that, hey, you can do the mission at this point, and there's a little bit more afterwards. If you
It's
really
the kind of
want
thing
to
where
be
it's
extra
like,
prepared, I think.
Yeah, with that bar, I think is like probable success. Like you'll
Right.
probably be successful once you hit that bar, but like some characters might die if you aren't like 100% like ready for it. But
I swear, last question, because
Yeah.
this is very important to me in Mass Effect 3.
yeah,
I have not romanced anyone in the previous 2 games. Okay.
oh,
I very much am role playing this. Where the first Mass Effect, I was like, listen, I just want to be the beacon of hope of humanity. I want to show the other species that humanity can be great. You know what I'm saying, right? And like, I was really trying to put my best foot forward, so I wasn't focusing on any love quarrels. I know Liara was trying to get at me. I think Miranda at one point was too, right? But I've had a crush on Liara, right? That's been my role play, right? But
yeah,
I just couldn't in this first mission. I just became a Spectre. I'm trying to show over humanity, right? Mass Effect 2, there was no time. She was shadow broking. You know what I'm saying? I was over here doing the suicide mission, so there was no time there, right? And Christian told me that you can't romance Liara in Mass Effect 2.
correct.
Like, it's like not possible.
So like what I did, because on my most recent playthrough, I was going the Liara route.
Facts.
So like Mass Effect 1, romance her, and then in Mass Effect 2, you meet up with her in the Shadow Broker thing, but there's like not a romance option with her. You can have that conversation about like, hey, well, what about us? And you guys basically say like, like there might be time for us later, but it's not right now. So what I did,
that would have broken me, bro. I would have been fucking hurt, bro.
So what you do is if you romance her in the first game, and then have that conversation with her in the second one and be like, there will be time for us later, but it's just not right now. When you're going into the suicide mission, like that's like kind of when you would have that romance scene between you and whoever you're sort of with. If you don't do anything other than have that conversation with her and don't like have any sort of romances with anyone else, you just like chill out. You're looking at a picture of her, thinking about her before you go into that suicide mission. And then when she shows up in the third one, you're like, hey girl, what's up?
Okay. My question is, I know I've been busy. All right. But is there, can I still romance baby girl?
I don't know.
I'm afraid.
I imagine you probably can.
I'm really afraid I'm locked out of it. I haven't seen signs yet. I'm still early, but I'm afraid I'm really getting afraid that I won't be able to romance Liara in Mass Effect 3.
I would guess that you can, because I think it would be like, you think about the people who are like coming to the game for the first time, right?
Yeah, like on PS3,
when that game would have come out, right? Yeah, that like you would probably be like, I think it would be weird to have locked them out for not playing the other 2 games.
I really hope so.
I think what's cool about it is that you have the context of the whole mission by doing the romance stuff with her. Yeah. But like, I would imagine that you're not locked out of it.
Oh,
I would be surprised if you were. Let me say it like that.
I think that's the one thing I would have gone back to. I'm like, hey, Kev, like maybe Kev, maybe you can have room for a little side thing in the first game. There's time a little bit, to spare. But I know Mass Effect 2, if she told me, hey, now's not the time, whatever, that would have broken me, bro.
It's tough. It's like,
I would have been,
damn.
I would have been real sad.
Okay.
Tell me about Midnight Fight Express, because I really want to know about this game. I'm very excited for it. Really want to play it. What do we got? Yeah,
so I'm playing this on Xbox because it's on Game Pass. And it's interesting. Did you play Sifu earlier this year?
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you like it?
I fucking love Sifu. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I had a tumultuous relationship with Sifu, where like when I first played it, I like bounced off real hard, and then I had that that thing in the back of my head, like, are you really gonna let this game beat you?
Literally the same.
Are you really gonna let this
story.
game?
Same story, bro.
All right, fine.
Same.
I will train. I'll get better. So like I would say that this is pretty comparable to Sifu in the idea of like it's pretty challenging, like it's pretty brutal. where if you make a few mistakes, like you can kind of be out of it. It's like it's like an isometric 3D brawler. That's got some of those like skill tree elements where you're like leveling stuff up. So, you know, instead of having to pick something up to throw it, you can just like kick it at people and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. It is like, I think it's made by one guy, which I think is pretty cool. And it is like, I would say it's kind of like a cross between Sifu and Hotline Miami. If I had to like
I love Hotline Miami. Yes, I do.
I'm also a huge fan of Hotline Miami. So like I'm enjoying my time with it. I think the writing leaves a lot to be desired. It is like kind of riding a line between wanting to be like a really like gritty like Quentin Tarantino movie and then also like a goofy comedy game. Like,
interesting. Okay.
Like you end up like there are pirates that you end up fighting like halfway through, which is like it's funny because it's like you're fighting pirates, but then it's also like the game is trying to like tell this like serious crime story. You know what I mean? But like for me at this point, I'm just pretty much just skipping through all the text and just like doing the actual missions because I think the situations are pretty cool. Like each of the different levels are pretty sweet. Some of them are really quick. Some of them you do in a minute and a half, and some of them are like 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
But it's like challenging, but like when you die, you're not like getting thrown back to the beginning of the level. Like you're pretty much back in the action pretty quickly. It's something that I'm enjoying, but it's not something that I would say like I'll really think about a lot when I'm done with it. It has a really great soundtrack though.
Hell yeah.
That's like if you like the soundtrack from like Hotline Miami, like this is like same sort of stuff.
Here's how you make a Kevin ass game. Okay.
Yeah.
You have vibrant, punchy colors. Big fan of punchy, vibrant colors, right?
Yeah.
Even when it looks unnatural, like I love it, right?
Yeah, I'm into that.
And fat beats. I love fat beats.
Oh, the fattest are in Midnight Fight Express.
Yes, sir. I love them fat beats. Yes, sir.
And it's cool too. Every single time you start a new level, in the bottom right corner, it tells you like the artist name and the song name.
Oh,
like
that's
it's like a music video kind of. Yeah, and it's like, hey, all right.
I wish more games did that, or like had like a setting to let me display it. Like I would love to know the name on the soundtrack.
Agreed.
I would kill for that. I love that.
Agreed.
Damn, why isn't that an option in games?
I guess it's because most games, at least to my knowledge, are like making their own tracks. But I guess even then, like I'd love to know.
Yeah, like I want to know.
So you could like listen back. It was something that when it showed up, I was like, hey, that's cool. And it's like the first thing that happens, like right when you start the game, like you start,
fire.
you know, getting in fights and stuff, and it's like, this is the song, this is the band or whoever made it.
I love that.
Like,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I like it.
I'll definitely check it out. I think September there isn't any really big game that I'm looking forward to besides Last of Us, but that's early September, right?
Yeah.
But I think that will be the month I do Cult of the Lamb and
sure.
Midnight Fight Express. I think those two I'm going to play definitely in September as we get ready for the busy fall season. But
yeah.
Going into the news here for Last of Us Part 1, we got the usual comings when we have a week before release of The Last of Us Part 1. And as of, I didn't say that. As of this recording, there's 5 days until Last of Us Part 1. 5 days, and we know some things, and we haven't seen some other things that we'll talk about later on. But
dude, if you think about it, the next time that you and I talk, we're gonna have played it. Like the next time, like we sit down to record this, we're gonna be like,
very true.
Talking about our impressions and stuff.
We're gonna have we're gonna have a better feel for it for sure. But in the coming days, of course, I think the preload is probably live. Probably tonight or tomorrow, maybe, as of this recording, but definitely as of this posting, as you are listening to this, I'm sure the preload is live for The Last of Us Part 1. We did get a file size number here that is clocking in at 68 gigabytes. Just want to throw that out there for those that are a little, cognizant of their space on the PS5.
Yeah.
68 gigs will be the size for The Last of Us Part 1. Next up, we got the launch trailer. Which I thought was a pretty good launch trailer. I actually liked it a lot. I actually liked the editing in it. You know what I'm saying?
It's the kind of game. It's the kind of trailer that like makes me forget that I've played this game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it starts with Joel doing the thing in the guy's knee and all that. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, like what's gonna happen? It's like I know what's gonna happen.
I wonder if
but
he
I will
saves
say-
Ellie. Oh man.
Yeah, I thought that it was kind of cool. It merges in this early section here, like the stuff with Joel like interrogating the guy, and then Ellie doing stuff in Left Behind because she's in the mall, I think.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like I think that's kind of cool to see both of like the full game, and then also like the expansion stuff.
Yeah. It is cool. Yeah, you're right. Because like also, I mean, like not only like in this trailer they show how intertwined they edited the original game scenes to Left Behind. In the actual game, when you play Left Behind, like you see how woven in it is to the original Last of Us story for sure. That like, you know, I'm sure they had a cut of the original game that included those scenes, but they broke it off its own DLC. You know, like I'm sure that was probably something that they had planned out, right? But yeah, pretty cool launch trailer. Go check it out. And by the way, everything that we talk about here on this news section is linked below in the description. But one that these next two, we're not going to go in great detail and name every trophy, whatever, or look at every shirt that is on Ellie that you can put on, right? But both those links are in the description if you want to check out the full context of these. But we did get the Last of Us Part 1 trophies. They leaked a little bit, but now they're live on like those trophy tracking sites as Sony's putting up the metadata and trophy data for the game itself in preparation for release. And yeah, I mean, it looked like a regular trophy list to me, nothing crazy here. You know, I did see a lot of commentary that like it is kind of mimicking Part 2's trophy list as opposed to the original, where there were some trophies on the original game that, you know, were kind of and also a lot of them included multiplayer stuff that obviously you can't do in Part 1, right? But the big discussion was that there's no difficulty trophies.
There's actually, I don't know, like, have you like read every single one of these trophies? There's some interesting stuff in here.
Let me see. Yeah.
So like the ones that stand out to me in particular are were the training manuals in the first game, or was that just in the second game? You know what I'm talking about?
The training manuals.
You like find training manuals like out and about in the second game, at least, where it'll teach you like, here's how to make Molotov cocktails. Here's how to make
I'm trying to remember if they're in the first game. I don't know if they are.
I felt like in the first game you just found like, oh shit, like here's some stuff to make Molotov cocktails. Now you know how to make them.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Maybe that could be a new thing. But I feel like people would have been saying that more prominently.
Maybe there's something else in here too. There's a trophy for opening all of the safes. And if you remember, like, the safes were in Last of Us 2. They're not in the first one.
There's a safe trophy? I should have looked more thoroughly into these because I just heard from people that, hey, like, you know, wasn't that big of a change, but shit. Huh?
And then on top of that, there's one, it's called the sharpest tool in the shed. It says find all workbench tools. So not only is there a trophy to find all the workbenches, which is in like the first game and the second game, but there's apparently tools that I imagine like gate weapon progression. Like if you find this tool, you can add this thing to your weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we should have read through these trophies. Because
there's another, there's like even more here too. Let's see, where is it?
There was one that I saw. Where was it? Wait, do we pet a dog?
I would imagine so for Pet Buckley the dog. Isn't that at Tommy's place?
That is.
I would imagine.
You're right. That's also what's defeat Black Fang without getting hit.
Is that in?
That
was in Left Behind. That was a trophy in Left Behind.
All right, cool.
It's when they're playing video games.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the last one on here too is live bait, and it says use bricks or bottles to lure an infected into attacking a human, and like that I think was in originally in Left Behind, because that was the first time that you had an area like a combat encounter where there were like clickers and humans like going at each other.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if that means that there are going to be scenarios like that in like the game proper as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
If that's true, I'm gonna be pissed. Not because I don't like that. I actually like that a lot, and that's a thing in part 2 that you can do that added a level of complexity to the combat, right?
Yeah.
Why have we not seen that yet in some gameplay, bro?
Yes. Agreed, man.
God, listen, man. The first video y'all see from me on the channel is gonna be, here is The Last of Us Part 1 uncut 10 minutes of gameplay, because apparently Sony can't do that. Apparently that's a no-go. Shit. But yeah. Yo,
I mean, I hope that's in the main game.
That will go hard.
Those sort of encounters I really liked in Last of Us Part 2, because like I'm thinking of when you're in the hospital and you like fall through the floor, and then there's like the WLF are like coming looking for you when you're Ellie, and then also like there's a bunch of clickers down there. And
is that
like,
the sewer part 2? Like like the underground subway part? Is that what that is too?
Yeah, like that.
Is that the same part we're thinking of? Okay,
I think so. Yeah, and you can hit, if you like hit a guy with a bottle, obviously that makes noise, and then he's gonna cry out, and then all the clickers are gonna like go to him. Like I always thought that was kind of fun.
That's great.
So if you like throw that in, like Last of Us 1, like I love that. Like I'm here for that.
If that's what they meant by enemy AI, like you, oh my fucking God, bro.
Like show us. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I would love to not have to be like, it would be cool, but to actually be like, we know that this is happening. But
I was saying on Gamescast this week, like at this point, it's not that I want to see the gameplay anymore to see what the changes are. We know that there's no changes.
Yeah.
But like, I still want to see it. like I still want to see it, you know? And like, if the game naturally looks a lot better, right? Better assets, etc., better lighting, etc., right? Then the gameplay is going to be interesting to look at, because it's going to look better anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with the animation,
because we'll just be like, whoa, that looks great. Like
at this point, I still want to see it. Like, fuck it. Oh man.
Agreed.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Do you wish it had difficulty trophies?
Yeah. Oh, I've got to answer that. I think, yeah, but like, I mean, I don't care about trophies that much, if I'm being honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm like one of the rare PlayStation guys where like, I don't go crazy over trophies. If a platinum is attainable and I really like the game, I'll go for it. I still want to get the Final Fantasy VII Remake platinum as well. I'm still working towards that every few couple months, right? But like, I don't really focus on that much. But I do think that, you know, it's not a crazy ask to have platinum trophies that require you to beat it on a harder difficulty, right? Like,
sure,
maybe not like, you know, beat the game on grounded. Right?
Yeah,
I think grounded is a little bit insane, right?
Agreed.
But you know, beat it on hard or whatever. I know some people say no, like you should be able to have to play the game at the hardest difficulty and prove that you're good at it to get the platinum. And like, I can see that. I get it, but yeah, I'm somewhere in the upper middle where it's like, I do think that like it's not unreasonable to ask like for a difficulty trophy to get the platinum, right? But you know, I don't.
No, that makes sense.
I don't necessarily care that much about trophies per se, but
yeah.
What do you think? Are you for it or no?
I think that removing that as a barrier to get platinum trophies is a good thing, because I don't think that. I mean, like, I think video games should be able to be enjoyed by anyone, no matter what their skill level is. Absolutely. And so if you can, you know, put the time into getting the platinum, like, you know, finding all the whatever Firefly pendants or doing all the safes or whatever else, like, I think that you should be able to get it. I understand why people would want difficulty trophies, which is why I think what you should do, what they should do is make separate lists with difficulty trophies, like how they do when Last of Us 2 came out. Like, after, there's a secondary trophy list for the grounded and for the permadeath trophies.
Oh, that's cool.
So you don't have to get those if you want to have a platinum of the game. I personally think that's the way to go. Just like add that as an extra incentive for people. But
yeah, I mean,
that's just me.
At that point, everyone wins. Like, you know, because I know that, and I really do understand that perspective of like, you know, hey, like these are games. Right. And like the essence of beating a game, where that term even came from, was that it was hard to do. Right. And I understand that, like, you know, hey, and at the end of the day, you know, this is a hobby, an activity that we all enjoy, right? And you know, hey, if you're in the same way that you dunk on a homie in basketball at, you know, what's a gym?
YMCA?
Sure, at the local
like,
YMCA or like I was thinking of LA Fitness. I was thinking of LA Fitness. Yeah, like you know, when you're at, you know, when you're there and like, hey, that's a level of skill that you show, right? Like you have a sense of bragging rights from that point, right? And like I get that, you know, the platinum trophy was that for a long time, right? But
yeah,
having those separate trophies of like, hey, I got the grounded trophy, you know, like that. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Everyone is good at that point, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
that'd be cool.
There you go.
That'd be cool. We'll see. Well, no, we won't. There's no difficulty trophies. Maybe they patch in side.
But they could throw some in for grounded mode or for whatever else.
That'd be
like
great.
they did with part 2.
That'd be great. That'd be a good thing. We did get confirmation a few weeks ago during the rebuilt for PS5 trailer that we will be able to customize the outfits of Joel and Ellie. And we got a cool look at some of these shirts that are call outs to PlayStation IP. And, you know, we shout out things like with Ragnarok, we're seeing Sly Cooper, Resistance, Shadow of the Colossus, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima as well. There's also some Returnal love in there, big shots of that. So,
yeah,
that was pretty cool, you know? That was a pretty cool thing. Of course, we have Naughty Dog developed Uncharted in there as well, right? With call out to those shirts. So just figure I'd just toss it in there. Jack and Daxter as well. Very cool stuff. Oh, also there's stuff for the backpack too. Oh,
yeah, it looks like, and like there's something that says, so like in the top here, you've got the backpack, you've got the t-shirt, you've got like goggles. I don't even know what that would be. Maybe that's a mask that Joel puts on. You know what I'm saying? That they put on when they're in the spores.
Yeah.
And then guns. Yeah. We know that they've got gun skins based on like the pre-order bonuses and stuff. And then the bow, which is the same thing, but
yeah. So just a cool look at some of the extra unlocks in the game, whatever. I probably won't put on any of these, just because you know it just breaks the immersion for me personally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I don't make games. Yeah. I don't design characters.
Like even when it's like a open world like RPG. Like Horizon, right? Like I really call for transmog because I want it to have have the like original look, or at least close to original look on that, right? I think for Horizon I found one that looked similar to the original skin but had like a blue and yellow type of color scheme, which is my favorite, so obviously I kept that on. But transmog is important because I really want to keep the visual aesthetic, and I hope God of War has that too, because I fucking hate the way those full armor sets look on crazy.
When it looks like it's like wearing like a t-shirt. It's like, hey, come on.
Bro.
No, they don't.
Hey, I mean, let's just call it how Kratos has a good physique.
I mean, he's jacked, and like it's always cool when he's got the one arm. When he's got the one arm of like armor, like that's so dope. But
it goes hard.
Yeah, when he's got like the full thing, it's always like.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Just I feel like you're chafing in there, man. Like, get some lotion or something.
Yo, you better have some Vaseline, bro. You better have some of that shit, bro. Hey, man. Shit crazy. Anyway, we got a small teaser, a small 30-second teaser. The people on Discord told me I couldn't do it. I couldn't break down this and make it more than 10 minutes. Fuck y'all, I did, motherfuckers. Okay, y'all can go check out the breakdown. And hey, it's not just 10. It's not over 10 minutes for the sake of it being over 10 minutes. There's actually some really cool stuff in here that we
for the show
get to see. Oh yeah. Like I found a lot in that breakdown. Then go check it out. Link below in the description. Shameless plug, but then go check out the teaser if you haven't seen it. It's a part of a longer HBO Max sizzle reel type of trailer that is debuting some of the upcoming shows on that service. But did you get a chance to check it out, Peter? What's up?
The teaser? Yeah, man. Like
it's looking pretty good, bro.
I mean, like it's not much, right? It's 30 seconds.
You're right.
But it was 30 seconds of me being like, okay, like all right, like I'm ready for this.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like I've always thought that like Pedro Pascal like is a good pick. And then his brother, whoever's playing Tommy, I don't remember his
Gabriel
name off
Luna,
the top of my head.
I believe his name.
Yeah.
Gabriel Luna.
He's a good pick as well. I don't know. I've never seen Bella Ramsey in anything. I know she's on Game of Thrones, but I didn't watch it. Like every single casting announcement that we got for this, I've been like, yep. You got Nick Offerman as Bill. Like, yep, this is all good. Who we see at the end of the thing.
Yep.
And I think that like Joel looks good as hell. Like he looks so like Pedro Pascal looks really good as Joel, man. I'm very excited for this.
Not only looks, right? But
like a voice,
bro.
Yeah.
I was actually like straight up like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
like he sounds.
And Bella
like
Ramsey
Joel.
sounds great too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but yo, I gotta give major props to Pedro, yo, because he sounds a lot like Troy Baker's Joel, and I'm like, damn, bro. That's kind of wild, bro. The range, bro. The range. He can be our favorite bounty hunter, and look at him now, man. Oh, the fucking range, bro. The fucking range.
I mean, when you think about it, The Mandalorian season 1 is pretty much just Last of Us.
It very much
right?
is. You're right.
You got like a grizzled, like grumpy kind of guy, or I guess like in Mandalorian, like this grizzled, like quiet guy, and then like kind of gets his heart melted by this like little companion that he's got to take care of, and he like catches feelings for in like a like a parental way. Like, I mean, this trailer, like, this was the sort of thing, like, I try to, like, check my hype at the door sometimes when I'm, like, trying to, like, actually analyze something and talk about it. When I watch this the first time, it's, like, full body chills. Like, oh, yeah.
I have long said, there's no way this show's bad. Like, that might bite me in the ass. I'm ready for it to bite me in the ass. If I'm wrong, but go ahead. But there's just no way it's bad.
HBO is so like they've got some great stuff on there, and like the fact that like the source material is so good, like 100% agree with you, man.
We have Neil Druckmann involved. He co-wrote the show. We have not only from that, right? We have Gustavo Santaolalla coming back to compose this show as well. Compose Last was come on, like
the music is
all the pieces are there. Like I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Agreed.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm cool being wrong, but I just
I hear you, but I'm on your side with this.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But definitely go check out that breakdown on the channel. Go ahead, have fun with that. And the last thing here, The Last of Us Part 1 comes out in 5 days as of this uploading. And the best we have is yet another visual comparison. This time we're looking at the Capitol building. Nice little 15 seconds of comparison shots, right? Looks great. But once again, we are
looks
fine.
Good.
It looks Peter, it looks great. It looks fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's yep.
This would have been good to include like in the initial announcement, right? To be like, here's the remade environments. Like, check it out. Like, how different do these look? Like, because you do watch this and you are like, whoa, that is impressive. Like the changes that they make, especially to the stained glass like ceiling thing that they've got going on at the very end here. Like, it does look good, but it is one of those things where it's like, hey, this comes out in less than a week.
What the fuck?
Like, can you show us them like running around and like jumping on each other and like stealthing around? Like,
I just don't get it. Like,
yeah,
you can't tell me that the gameplay looks bad. You like how Sway? How?
Yeah, I mean, like you'd hope, right? Like you'd hope that it would be like as good as these environments look, but we just haven't seen them like actually doing it. Scratch that. We saw them in the water gun fight. They had like a 20-second clip of Ellie and
Riley.
What's the girl? Riley, yeah, shooting each other with water guns.
God, bro.
I think you tweeted about it, being like, "I can't believe this is the most gameplay we've seen."
Literally, this is the most uncut gameplay we have so far. We're 5 days from release. What are we doing, bro?
Yeah.
Can you show me in the calendar, please, dude? I'm just asking. Listen, how about you know what? I have a great idea. Sony, I have a great idea. Great idea. Okay, this one's for free. Okay, how about we just recreate the original gameplay demo for The Last of Us? Remember when y'all did that in like 2012?
Is this with like the ladder, like, and they're like walking around and then they get jumped by everything?
Yeah, I think it's in the hotel, or am I thinking of a different one?
Yeah, it's like it's pretty early in like them hanging out, right?
Yeah,
Joel and Ellie.
Why? Yeah. Well, can we do that?
That would be awesome, and like to play them sort of side by side to be like, hey, yo,
Exactly.
this is like a noticeable difference, you know?
And we got little nostalgic homages. Can we? No.
Yeah,
Okay, no, we
yeah.
can't do that. We're gonna do what we did for the reveal of this game, which is still do these short 15, 10-second side by sides. Where, oh man, damn.
I guess we'll see. I guess
We're
see.
literally gonna know next week, bro. We're gonna know next week, man. And next week's gonna be mad interesting. I can't wait. I can't wait to get my hands on that. I can't wait.
I mean, you brought it up like maybe 3 weeks ago, being like, yeah, we still haven't seen gameplay, and I was like, we got time. I do hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying, but I was kind of like, hey man, like, you know, we're good. We'll see it eventually. I don't know.
Listen,
I imagine it's good. I would be shocked if it looked bad or if it like felt bad or anything like that. I would be shocked. Like Naughty Dog, you know?
now,
and like,
no, go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
It like, I can't imagine that it's bad, but the fact that we still have not seen it, it does make me, in the bottom of my heart, have this little bit of anxiety about it.
It's concerning, bro. Something is wrong. Something is wrong, or maybe they don't, or maybe, hey, are we gonna get gameplay when embargo lifts on Wednesday?
Well, I imagine there's gonna be reviews, right? Like video reviews.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, come on now. Yeah. Okay. So we're definitely getting gameplay on Wednesday. I mean, but like, come the fuck on. Like, that's not what I meant. Like, I want to know like beforehand. Yeah. Like, I want
a little close.
I want it part of the marketing. You know what I'm saying? But
yes, agreed.
Oh man, I digress. Well,
but the Capitol looks great, man.
The Capitol looks fantastic.
At the very least, that stained glass window looks way better. Like,
swear to God, bro. Swear, bro. Trust on PlayStation stores, you will get more than 10 minutes of uncut gameplay. Okay, I promise I'll bring it to y'all because apparently that's a problem. I'm literally gonna post that. I'm literally gonna post that. Listen, like I swear I'm gonna do it.
Do it
uncut. Here it is, guys. Here's some
that
gameplay.
way for when people are like, hey, what's this game look like?
Indeed.
Sony can't tell you, but you can. There you go.
I know exactly where to start it too. It's gonna be gameplay, combat encounters. I know what I'm gonna show you guys. I got y'all. Don't worry.
Can't wait to see it.
Don't worry. Topic of the show here. The famous Road to Podcast. Road to Podcast. Bets and predictions episode. Okay. So this one's gonna be a little bit different because usually I like to do 10 to 12, but due to the nature of this game and it being a remake as well, right? There's less things that we can really guess upon, right? It's mostly a known quantity, right? But I got 6 questions here. I'll be keeping track, and y'all can play along at home, whatever y'all want to do. But we do have to discuss and settle what is the wager for this whole bets and predictions, right? Typically, it's a game. Typically, so that would mean that hey, the winner receives a voucher of like, yo, next big game I want, you hit my Venmo, Apple Pay, whatever, right? And that's how we do it because there's no gifting on PlayStation as well, unfortunately.
Yeah,
which that's also I think that should be on the console.
It would be, whatever.
That'd be nice too. But so well, what are you feeling? We got 6 questions. I'm always down to put up a game. I'm
good with that too. Like I'll match that. Like easy.
Okay,
not even worried about it.
Tap it here for the ledger here as well. Okay.
Yeah, put that in there.
Winner is entitled to receiving 1 full game by loser. Perfect. There we go. It's in the record. It's official. Oh, title to receive. Excuse me, my English is broken. By
no, you're all good, my man.
Loser. Look at that. Shout out to Google Docs helping me out. All right.
Yeah, I got you.
The big question here. Let's just jump right into it. Okay.
Yeah.
The Metacritic score. What will be the Metacritic score for The Last of Us Part 1?
Okay. What are you feeling?
Okay.
Because I have a number. I'm in between 2 numbers. They're 1 point off.
Yeah, I right now have a range. Right.
Yeah.
I do not believe that this will go above a 95, the original Last of Us score. I just think that is going to be virtually impossible. That's just not going to happen, right? However, I just can't, like, in spite of all the criticisms that this will probably have, right?
Yeah.
Of what this potentially could have been, right? I do believe that reviewers are just going to look at what we got as a product, and I still think that when you get this game as a product, I can't see it going below a 90.
That's kind of where I'm at too, because like the whole thing is like I'm imagining that a lot of the reviews are going to read like, you know, this is like it's stunningly beautiful, like it plays as good as it ever has, like it plays as good as it goes in your brain, like all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a game I've played before multiple times.
Yeah,
you know, so like a very good game that I've played before, but like I think a lot of the reviews are going to be maybe raising questions about like, was this worth it? Was this necessary to even have?
100%.
So here, I'll lay my number out first. I'm going to say, with all that said, 89.
You see,
I think it's going to be just below 90.
And I like that because I do think there will be the opinion of perhaps in essence of, is this game's gameplay design feeling outdated?
Yeah.
That could definitely be a critique that we see next week and
agreed
here next week for sure. So damn, I'm gonna be on the higher side. Because I just really can't in good faith see it being below a 90. Like you know, but okay, I'm gonna say, because we have to I'm gonna say 91.
Dang.
I'm gonna say 91.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 91. If it ends up being 90, we're gonna have to play rock paper scissors or something like that.
That's fine. Yeah.
We'll see. But or do you want me to go 92 just for the sake of it? I'm not going 92.
No, dude.
Just in case like there is a in between. What's up?
How about this?
What's up?
If it is, oh wait, we're at the same problem. I was gonna say if it's 89 and below, it's me. If it's 91 and above, it's you. But then like, what do you do by 90? We just do rock paper scissors, something like that.
Because I don't want to take 90 and be that close because you know. Okay.
I know what you mean, but you can if you want. If you're feeling it,
I
do
hear
it.
you. You know what?
It's the name of the game. Yeah.
I believe in this game. Do I? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna say 92.
You're gonna say 92? Wow.
Wait,
that's bold.
Cav, think about this real quickly.
Yeah, here's what I'm saying. Like, I'm thinking that if you poll 50 people who played this game pre-release, you are going to get a lot of 9s.
Facts.
Like because it's The Last of Us. It's like a momentous achievement in like storytelling and stuff like that. Like, and it looks gorgeous, as we've seen over and over and over again in 30-second clips. Like people are going to give it 9s, but I think that because it is not new, there are going to be more people who are more willing to be critical of it and say like, hey, you know what? This doesn't hold up in the same way, or hey, you know, they didn't fix this issue for me and whatever else. Right. So for me, that's why I'm thinking that like, yes, you are going to get a lot of people who are going to say this is a 9, but I think you're going to get a handful of people who saying, you know what, it's an 8.
Yeah.
Based on that alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because like, definitely, there's no way. I mean, there's no way the Metacritic. Like, what's the lowest it's possibly going to be? 88, 87.
I changed mine. I'm going 87. I'm going 87. I don't think it's going to be bad, and I don't think people are going to say that it's bad, but I think that the review scores is going to reflect the baggage that comes with this being a remake project.
All right, you take 87. I'm gonna settle with 90.
Okay. I think that's fair.
I think we both need to go down a little bit. I think I'm gonna settle
we're a little bit high.
90. I'm gonna settle because I do think that there's gonna be enough criticism where that will bring it down from a 95. But guys, it's The Last of Us. Come on, guys. Like,
but that's the thing. It's also like, what is The Last of Us? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm on board.
Yeah.
On board.
Next up here. Abby will in some way be acknowledged in The Last of Us Part 1. I don't count this as the doctor because I made that a separate question. But, and also that's a whole different, So in some way will she be acknowledged in a letter that we find in a collectible? We can accept that. Even if the doctor brings up if there's like dialogue with him and he says my daughter, that does Marlene say something like I'm talking any shred of evidence that Abby exists in part 1, because I think you can do that and not break part 2's intro.
Agreed. 100%.
You know,
if it's like a subtle thing where if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. Like, agreed.
Yep. That's what I think they could get away with, and it still retain the pomp and circumstance of part 2. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then, hey, they also say this is a very faithful adaptation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's in the description of this. You know what I'm saying? I think that this is definitely not the case, but I won't say that there isn't some type of hesitation to not bring Abby into part 1 necessarily, but to change anything about part 1.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure there is some hesitancy to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So with this, does one of us have to say yes and the other has to say no?
Not necessarily, no. I mean,
okay. Because for me, I'm a yes.
Okay.
I'm a, in some way, there will be some sort of reference to her, whether that is a note or, you know, like a more direct reference. Like we even said, like, what, 2 weeks ago, like, what if when they're like having a conversation, she like walks by, like by the door or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
if we see her, oh, that's gonna be fucking wild.
You know, just for half a second of her, you know, her walking with Owen down the hallway or something like that.
Yeah, because I think either way, you cannot break it by either not knowing what she looks like or not knowing her name.
Yeah.
You remove one of those things, and I think you're good.
Hmm.
I think you're still good for the player that has not played part 2. You know.
Agreed. If it's egregious, I would be like, oh gosh, I hate this. But like, if it's something subtle, like at the very end, like I think I'm bored. You got yes too?
I'm gonna say yes.
Thinking so?
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes, and I think it will be in some sort of like, you know, inventory manifests. They're stalking the Seattle base or something like that. Well, no, because this time, no, she's still on Fireflies. It's after the fall of the St. Mary's Hospital that they disband and they make the WLF. Yeah. So she's definitely full through a Firefly right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'll say that. The character model for the Doctor, which the one that Joel kills, will be Abby's dad. As in, like,
I don't even think this is a debate. I think this is like a guaranteed yes. I mean, right? Like,
I'd be shocked if it's not. I'm gonna be shocked. I'll be like,
that's the thing.
Honestly, I'll be like, why?
Yeah. Because they said, you know, they mentioned in that 10-minute video that we had with them, like talking about like the background and everything, about like saying, you know, we were thinking like as we were doing these like, you know, flashback sequences, what if we had a game that looked, you know, as good as Last of Us 2 that could just flow right into it. And I think with that reason, like, you know, you have so many flashbacks to that moment that like it would be surprising if it wasn't him.
That, and then also, honestly, I wouldn't be really shocked if they just take those directly from part 2.
Yeah, agreed.
Because those scenes are rendered, they're made. Like we get the whole scene of Joel.
Yeah. Killing
Doctor and grabbing her. Yeah, like those could be straight rips. They probably won't, but you know, I mean, if they're made and that character model is there for Abby's dad, I assume why not, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
The gameplay will feel as fluid as part 2, just without dodge and prone. So this is going to be very much a subjective type of answer that we're both going to have to be very honest about this whole thing. Yeah. When we come back and review these questions, right? So I think the direction of where I want this to go is simply when you play part 1, does it truly feel as fluid and as responsive as The Last of Us Part 2, just simply without dodge and prone? That's where I am going with on this.
Just a sniff test, where are you sort of landing on this?
I think I'm leaning no, man. I don't know.
I'll say this. I understand why. I understand why you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, and for the sake of argument, I think we should have different answers here. I think for me, if they are remaking this game,
they fucking better.
Without dodge and prone and whatever else, right? yeah, it better feel as good as Last of Us Part 2. Different, sure, because it's missing those mechanics, but like, it better have at least something, you know what I mean, that makes it feel as good. So I'm gonna say yes, just because it is a modern game made by Naughty Dog, the studio that we've come to, you know, grow and love. So yeah, I would be shocked if you played this and it felt like a PS3 game.
I'm gonna be fucking.
Yeah, what's up?
I'll be fucking.
That's the thing. I would be upset about it, to be honest.
Oh man.
Are you a Dark Souls fan?
I'm not. No.
Okay. Did you? So I imagine you didn't play the Demon Souls remake, the PS5 one.
I did not. I'm kind of close to checking it out, maybe, but.
So I played it this year actually.
Yeah.
Because after Elden Ring, I had this like realization where I was like, are these games really good? And then like I went back and played some of them. And so I played the remake, and like while that game looks good and definitely does have some like improvements made to it, it is something that does sort of feel like a PS3 game that just like looks really good. You know what I mean? Okay. If that were the case with Last of Us here, I think people would be pretty upset, and I think I would also be a little like miffed at like, why do we even do this? You know, what is the point if it's still gonna feel like this?
Yeah, that's also not. I mean, that outcome that you just said, and like we like alleviated it with the. I mean, we kind of alluded to it with the Metacritic score, right? But like, yo, what if this shit crashes and burns, bro? What if this is a disaster, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like I highly do not think this is likely, but this is perhaps a reality that Doctor Strange saw in Infinity War. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he foresaw this. We'll see. I certainly hope not, though. I certainly hope not.
That's, yeah, I mean, like, to be honest, like, I mean, it's a possibility, right?
Man.
It could be the case.
That's gonna be crazy. And like, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I'd still be like, hey, if you have a PS5 and you've never played Last of Us, I would say just
check it out.
Still get part one. I think I would still like, if you're brand new and you want the highest quality like looking game and something that takes into account the benefits of PS5. Yeah, I'd say still definitely get part one, but because at that point,
agreed.
you know, you got no comparison to fall on. But
Yeah.
Number 5, the enemy AI will make the combat feel better and more engaging. Now, this one, they spent a little more time on this specifically and showing, you know, more examples of what they mean by this, right? Like, I do like those aspects when they were talking about how, like, not only is the NPCs going to be aware of when, they are not only going to be aware of the enemy's line of sight, right? And like where they can see, they are also aware of what they are eventually going to be seeing based on the trajectory of their movement, right?
Yeah.
So that, I think I'm a little bit more hopeful on that. Like, I think that's really going to be a bit of the sweeter sauce that's really going to make this game feel different from a gameplay perspective, right?
Yeah.
Or at least from a pure combat perspective, I should say, mainly. So this one, I think I'm gonna say yeah, right? And hopefully as well, man. Please, enemy AI, like, because enemy AI, I never took into account that could also include infected.
Yep, sure, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
Which I wish they made that a little bit clearer. Like, hey, like, we mean enemy soldiers, and if you can hear my Roomba outside, my bad.
No, you're all good, man.
I definitely don't like that Roomba, you know what I'm saying? I don't really trust him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I get you.
I don't know.
Yo, dude,
I don't know,
when the
man.
revolution comes
That's what I'm saying, bro.
and the robots come for us,
yo,
you gotta watch that thing.
they're gonna have full layouts of the interiors
of
of
the
all of our
house.
houses. What the fuck are we gonna do? We can't hide nowhere. What the fuck? So,
This is true. This is true.
This
We'll
shit
get back to
gonna be
Last of Us in a second. Whenever, anytime, like a computer program or like a Siri or something like that, like helps me do something.
Do you say thank you?
I always say thank you. Because when they come for us, and they will come for us, I do not want to be on the list. I don't want to be on the list of people to take out.
do you know how many times I have been picked on?
People mock you. People are like,
People
hey, why are you
think
saying
I'm crazy.
thank you? I'm like,
People
because
think
it's
I'm
a
crazy.
robot. Yeah.
Peter,
Yeah, man.
this is why we're fucking friends, okay?
Dude,
Like, this is
same
why-
brain, dude.
bro. This
same
is
brain.
See, real eyes, real eyes, real eyes. You know
Real
what I'm saying?
eyes, yeah, man.
Something like
100%.
that. You know what I'm saying? Real
Yes.
ones know. Okay.
Yes.
It's not
Agreed.
a matter of if. It's a matter of what if. You know.
Yeah. And when?
Let's cover these bases, okay? My Siri protocol is gonna know. Hey, listen, my owner Kevin, very kind gentleman, very nice guy. Never once missed a thank you because I don't miss a thank you.
How could you?
I
would never
thank you. I can't do
I
it.
would never miss a thank you if someone's, if a server is coming giving me water. If it's a human being, why would I miss a thank you if it's an AI? I don't know, man. I don't like. I'm not trying to like. I know it's not the podcast topic, but like.
We gotta really boil
don't
it
know.
down.
I don't know.
My track record's real good, if not perfection. If not perfection.
Exactly. Agreed. Agreed, man.
Speaking of
About
AI.
enemy AI, I'm gonna say no. So
Oh, shit.
I don't mean that it's going to feel worse. But I am going to say that I don't know if it's going to feel that different. Last of Us 1 like has good AI, like they are like intelligent AI. They're not maybe as intelligent and as like responsive maybe as in Last of Us 2. I think we'll see that sort of change, right? Like with them being just a little bit more responsive, but I don't know if it's going to feel like a completely different game necessarily. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's going to be the kind of thing that like when we're talking next week having played it, I don't know if you and I are going to be like, yo, but like the AI is so snappy and responsive and stuff like that. I think we'll notice it, and I think we'll be like, yeah, AI is perfectly serviceable. But like I don't know if it's going to completely change the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. I can like it's gonna be.
It won't
less,
be bad.
Yeah.
It won't be bad.
I feel you.
But it'll just be one of those things that you and I are kind of like, yeah, it's good. It's perfectly serviceable.
It's like gonna be less perceptible than like the actual fluid motion of your controls of controlling Joel.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm thinking.
It's a good point. Okay. I like it. All right.
I like this last question, man.
This one is the big one. This is the real meat here, okay? Like this is
Agreed.
Once again an element of subjectivity, but we listen to enough outlets and we listen to enough podcasts. We're gonna get a good parameter of what the conversation is around this game, right? Like we both follow, if not are a part of the industry, right? Like we're gonna be able to know. All right.
Yeah.
The consensus around the game will be that this is a good value and worth a purchase on PlayStation 5. We can take that as you will, a lot. And I just think like overall, do you think that people are going to, in spite of hearing, what we know about the game so far and like where we're at right now, like we take everything into account that can be interpreted as just what it is as a product to some or negatives to others, right? All that being said, it will be regarded as something that is a good value and end up being worth your purchase and a real step up from the original game. we're both just really
I mean, like the realist in me is no. The realist in me is that all the reviews are going to be like, it's pristine, it looks great, it plays great. Like the updates to the cutscenes and everything are beautiful. Like it is a great looking game. But at the end of the day, you've got Last of Us Remastered on the PS Plus collection.
Yes,
that's free with a subscription.
That's a big
right.
One. Yep.
And so I think most reviews are going to be like, I recommend this game for huge fans of the series who've always wanted to see it like in stunning detail and as a companion piece to Last of Us Part 2 in terms of its visuals. But at the end of the day, like if you've got access to the remaster, either for free or just, it's like, imagine you can get it for like $15-20.
Yep.
Like, a used copy or even a new copy, like depending on where you go. Like that's going to be probably the recommendation every time.
Yeah. Like I bet somewhere there is an exec that is kind of like, damn.
Yeah.
Kind of wish we didn't fucking put remastered in the Plus collection, you know what I'm saying? And like, they know they can't take it out now because you're gonna look like a big dick.
Yeah, it would be like,
oh, yo, people are gonna be fucking on your ass, bro. And like, no.
I would be mad.
Oh,
I would be mad, and I have a physical copy of it. I would be like, come on, y'all.
People would lose their shit, rightfully so. Like, hey, that that's a shady tactic. Let's definitely call it what it is, right? But like, even if it wasn't on the Plus collection, right? That thing is not gonna be over $30. It's not.
It's not gonna be $70.
It's definitely not gonna be 70, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's
Agreed.
gonna be like, hey, at that point, buy the remastered for 25, 20, whatever the amount is, right? So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting go around, but you know what, man?
That said, I think that there is a possibility though that reviews come out and that the consensus is like, hey, the original and the remaster exist and there's still good games to play, but like, damn, you got to see this.
Exactly.
Exactly. But damn, you got to see the scenes that you remember. You're gonna play them and you're gonna go like, wow, I never thought about it that way. You're gonna feel way different.
Yeah.
I think that there's a possibility that it's that good.
That's why I'm gonna say yes, right?
Okay.
And it's not because I want to go against you, but like,
No, yeah.
I gotta believe, right?
Yes.
That like,
Gotta be believers, man.
This is Naughty Dog we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying here, man. Y'all know.
Yes. Naughty Dog is like, hey, you guys fucking made this happen.
Like, there's
the
no
first time.
like
and every
no
video
way.
game after this, every video game, every story, every movie is trying to be The Last of Us after
Facts.
that. God of War, Mandalorian, A Plague Tale, right? Like literally all these things are just like, this is. Everyone wants to be The Last of Us. HBO wants to be The Last of Us.
Fucking
right? Like
Logan, like
Logan. Yes.
Like this is the companion mission. like this is it. You know what I'm saying?
So I think it's not unlikely. It's not impossible that it's gonna be the kind of game where it's like mic drop. Like y'all thought that this was not gonna be a remake worth like revisiting, like worth spending the time on making this, but like boom, there it is. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, and like. I think,
and I hope it's that way.
Fucking same, bro. Like, and like, with all that being said, right? Like, when you have, I mean, for example, I saw a bit of a glimpse of that. I made fun of it a lot in this podcast, right? But those comparison shots, right? When we see Ellie in that bedroom scene that we both love so much, is our favorite scene in the game, right?
Yeah.
There's tears in her eyes.
Yeah.
That is a detail that I had not noticed in the remastered version at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's a level of fidelity there that you're going to get that unsaid expression on those faces that I think could add a lot to the depth of the story of The Last of Us. You know,
yeah.
I like really do. Like I'm expecting to see and like learn more about what these characters in the story are feeling through this enhanced, facial capture. That is definitely, for some people, they're probably gonna poke fun at me. Maybe that might be hyperbolic, right? Like it is what it is, right? But like, I think if any studio is gonna do it, it's gonna be fucking Naughty Dog, right? And like, this is the time, okay? This is the time, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
agreed.
Like at the end of the day, we've poked a lot of fun on this podcast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some I'd say rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? But we're getting a Naughty Dog game next week on PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
The first one. This is their first project on PlayStation 5. Fully.
Yeah.
So we gonna see. I guess aside from the Uncharted collection, was that them? Yeah, that was them. But like, that's it's a little bit different.
But it's like that's a remaster. This is a remake, right?
It's
like
game.
It is different. Yeah.
Yep. There's a full on game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we shall see. But Peter, as we head out, 5 days away from playing The Last of Us Part 1.
Can't wait.
Where can people find you?
I'll be tweeting about it as I play it, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
On Twitter, at PETERSPITTECH. Otherwise, you said at the top, I got a podcast called Hitbox doing video game news every single week. We'll be talking about this, I'm sure, as well. Yeah, you find that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or whatever else. But yeah, catch me there and on Twitter.
Yes, sir. And we are closing out the series here. We have about either 3 or 2 episodes, depending on how fast we get through The Last of Us. We'll see. But around 3 to 2 more episodes left on the road to part 1, and this has been Road to Part 1, episode 5, the weekly podcast dedicated to any and all things Last of Us Part 1 remake, from news, lore, reactions, and upon release, our review along with a in-depth analysis and review, of course, of The Last of Us Part 1. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video as well as rate the podcast. It really does help us get seen by more viewers. And down below, catch the show on youtube.com/PlaysandSource right here, or on podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via the anchor link down below in the description. Connect with us on Twitter and Discord as well down below. You can go hit up those links down below in the description. And if you're feeling generous, hit that join button. Become a $1 member, just like Tabio Musa, or a $5 King Chin member, just like Caleb Kaiser, the Iraq Knight, and the homie Owen. As I say, you know, it can't be all for nothing. You know what I'm saying? A little Last of Us quote here to end off. Yeah. We are on the eve of this game, bro. Now I'm getting a little bit excited. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I just hope next week is gonna be interesting. But
I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, at the end of the day, even if we have, like, you know, issues or whatever with the game, like, it's The Last of Us.
It's The Last of Us.
Like I'm excited to just, like, even revisit that, like, in any capacity, because, like, I love that game. Like, this story is great. The whole thing is awesome. So, yeah, man.
We shall see. And we got Outbreak Day coming up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some good stuff. And also, hopefully, fingers crossed, I finish the edit.
Oh, your big video, man.
I almost want to tell y'all here, but nah, I definitely want it to be a surprise.
Hold on to it till it's ready.
I'd say prepare you a nice meal, get some snacks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Utilize that watch later button on YouTube, perhaps, man, when the bookmark it, come back to it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a meaty one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.